Hi, hello, how are you? Good morning, happy Monday. I'm feeling pretty good today. Trying to, this week at least, get dressed every day before like 9 o'clock. It's 9:30 now. I've been dressed for about an hour. I have like an actual t-shirt on, an actual bra, pants on. You can't see. There we go. Pants on. I did my eyebrows. I put a little bit of mascara on. I don't know if you can really tell. I do need to get new mascara because it is very, very dry, so it doesn't coat very well. Trying to eat and just kind of take care of myself a little bit better. Trying to go like 1 week at a time, a day at a time basically, and not push myself so much. But I'm definitely not feeling great. Last week was really, really hard for me. Just like mentally, and I don't want that to happen again. So I'm trying to get dressed. I'm trying to eat breakfast, drink more water, just do like basic things that have kind of become a little bit hard in the last couple of weeks. But at the same time not put too much pressure on myself if I don't get dressed on a day. Because, you know, 3 days out of the 5 that I work is still better than what I've been doing recently. So reading wise, I am still reading Queen of Air and Darkness. I don't know if I'm ever gonna finish this book. I am 648 pages of the way in. We are going to Alicante, starting a resistance, a revolution, Livia's Watch, which I think is the sweetest thing. We're back from Thule. The Livy of that world did not come back. I kind of knew that she wasn't going to. It just didn't seem like her in her character. As easy as it would have been for her to go through the portal with Julian and be there, all that she had done in Thule would have been kind of for nothing. And they have given her, that entire world, a new opportunity to bring back shadow hunters and, you know, bring that world back to life. And so I knew that she was going to stay. I'm very, very proud of Julian for not forcing her and just understanding like that is her home, and she needed to do what was best for it. So we're gearing up for a battle against Horus, who is just putting on this shit show with the Unseelie court. I'm really hoping Kieran's gonna be king. Ooh, the heat, the spice between him, Mark, and Christina is wild. Cassandra Clare is really just putting it out there. And I'm interested in seeing where their little throuple goes in this book. We did also get a really cute moment between Jace and Kit, where Kit kind of asked him about weaponry and having like a weapon that is his, because everybody else kind of has a signature weapon, and Jace is like, I didn't know you wanted to be a shadow hunter, and Kit kind of like makes this realization. He's like, I mean, what else I would be? And that makes Jace super happy, and he's like, oh, like I've got all these found family members, but you're like my actual family. Tons of stories that I can tell you. Like, do you know who Will Harrendell is? And that, just the mention of Will Harrendell, I was like, oh, I really need to reread The Infernal Devices, but I should probably finish the books that I haven't read before I go back and start rereading. I'm just really enjoying it. I have a couple of meetings today. I was supposed to have a meeting at 8:30. My boss still has not called me. I have a meeting at 10 with him and a few other people, and I'm assuming what's just going to happen is he's going to ask me to stay on at the end of that meeting so that I can talk to him about putting audio on a PowerPoint. And then I'm reading reports today, so it just kind of depends on my like mental capacity if I can listen to this, and it'll probably have to be on like 1.5 speed. I got up to 2 times speed last night while I was reading. But only for like half an hour, and I had to take it back down just because I like to enjoy the book. So let's see. So I read 167 pages yesterday. So I still have 230 pages left to go. I don't know how many hours that is. Let me look on Bookly. That's 3.5 hours at the speed that I'm currently reading. I don't know how much it says on my audiobook, but I'm thinking I can finish it today, hopefully. That just depends on if I can manage to read reports and listen to the book at the same time. So I'm gonna get back to work. I have a meeting in a few minutes and I need to finish my toast, and I will update you guys later. Good morning, happy Tuesday. I'm dressed. I got dressed today. Not in the same way that I did yesterday. I'm wearing a sweatshirt and leggings today, but I'm still going to count it. I did my eyebrows and I've got mascara on. It's just cold today. It's gonna rain tomorrow, so it's like, I don't care. I just want to be comfortable. But at least I got dressed. I was up and dressed before 8 o'clock. I mean, I sat down at 7:30. So I answered a few emails and then got dressed really quickly and came and sat back down. And I am working. I've got coffee today. I really need it. I stayed up late for me reading Queen of Air and Darkness. I'm not finished with this huge hunk of a book, but I am very close. I'm on page 813. I paused at like a break in the chapter. I was just so tired, and if I don't go to bed by 10, then I'm very grumpy the next day. I am really enjoying it. These last like 300 pages with Julian scheming and it getting closer and closer to him and Emma being able to be together, and they can now. The curse from their parabatai bond enacted and they became Nephilim, like actual giant angels, and that's how they ended up like winning the sort of like war that ended up happening, because Horus staged like a fake parlay with the Unseelie King Oban, who is dead now. Kieran is the king, and that absolutely breaks my heart for him because he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be trapped in fairy, but if he's going to be king, he's going to be a good king. So he's left. He's told Mark and Christina that if he spends too much time in the mortal world where they live, the land of fairy will weaken the longer that their king is away. So he has left them, which was super sad. But when I left off on the book, Christina had some sort of plan for them to be able to see Kieran, so I'm looking forward to that, although there's only like 60 pages left, so I'm not really sure how everything is going to get resolved. Emma and Julian, when they became the Nephilim, were burning with heavenly fire, and it was literally killing them, and the Blackthorns band together and met them on the field. Helen, Mark, Tavi, Drusilla, Ty. It was just a very sweet moment of everybody shouting to them and saying that they would miss them and that they need to stop, because in these giant forms they were killing people, and they were going to burn themselves up and die. Jace mentions it. He says they're dying. They're burning from the inside. Their mortal bodies cannot contain the heavenly fire. And it ends with Tavi stretching out his arms and saying, "Carry me. I'm tired. I want to go home, Julian." And that's what snaps Julian out of the like trance that they're under, and he reaches down for Tavi, and then this big light shines and it's him and Emma laying on the ground and they're holding hands, and Jem comes to talk to them when they wake up, and he says that he's sorry and he wishes that he would have listened and kind of made the connections when Emma asked about the Parabatai curse and when she asked about stripping the marks of a shadow hunter, and I guess the heavenly fire broke their parabatai bond, so that rune is completely gone, and the Silent Brothers kind of like looked through them, through their minds, and the bond is gone, so they get to be together, which makes me really happy. I have not shipped them at all in the last 3 books, but these last like 300 pages, I have actually been supportive of them because I want them to be happy. The things that Julian has gone through since he was 12 and his parents died, and trying to keep his family together and in the Institute by taking care of them, giving up his childhood and running the Institute. I just think that this poor precious boy deserves to be happy. The same with Emma. She lost her parents. She has one living relative, and he is hundreds of years old, or at least a couple hundred years old. And he's always off with Tessa, so she doesn't really have any other family but the Blackthorns. And I just want I want the both of them to be happy. I was definitely tearing up when Zara, that bitch, stabbed Emma literally in the back and then in her chest. And while Julian was holding her and saying it's, you know, the council hall all over again, and it flashes back to him holding Livy and saying, you know, Livy, my Livy. It was just so sad. And then him holding Emma, and I was like, oh, give this boy a freaking break. So I only have about 60 pages left. I'm probably going to listen to it in a little bit. I am really enjoying it, but I just don't understand how this entire book can be wrapped up in 60 pages. I definitely think that Queen of Air and Darkness is kind of like a redo of the Mortal Instruments. It's got, you know, a will they won't they couple similar to Jason Clary. It's got a guy, Horace Dearborn, who's similar to Valentine Morgenstern, who thinks that Nephilim are dirty, or that Downworlders are dirty, and that the Nephilim should, you know, reign supreme because they're pure and the superior species. I just felt like there were a lot of similarities. But I really love the Blackthorn family. I do also kind of feel like Drusilla was a character who was underappreciated and almost could have been taken out of the story and not a lot would have changed. The only thing that she really does is help Jaime, Diego's younger brother, and free Diego and some of the other like Sholomance students from jail, and Gia Penhollow, who is the consul, freeing them from jail. I just felt like she was underused. More could have been done with her, and all she did was complain about not being seen by her family. She does kind of help save the day in the end by saying, like, you know, we need to go to Julian and Emma. Who is going to break them out of this spell? So I just felt like her character was underused, basically. She was there, and she was the only Blackthorn who really didn't have like a character arc or any sort of story behind her. So I'm going to get back to work, and I will update you guys when I finish this big old book. Hello. I tried to film this earlier, and in the middle of the clip my boyfriend came home, and since then I have showered, so I look a little crazy and I'm in my Christmas PJs. But I finished Queen of Air and Darkness. It's on my shelf with the rest of the Shadowhunter books that I have from that world, and I'm glad to be done. I gave it a 4 stars. It is a little bit closer to a 3-star, honestly, but, or like a 3.5 star, but you can't give half-star ratings on Goodreads. So I just went with a 4. Most of the book was like a 2 or a 3 for me, and the last bit was good enough. I just feel bad giving bad ratings. I might change it in the future. I'm like fussing with myself now over whether or not I really felt like it was a 4-star. It took me 40 days to read from like when I picked it up this year. I tried to read it last year, and I've had no interest in picking it up since then. So I don't know if I should say it's a 4-star, but I didn't feel like giving it a 3-star. It's definitely a 3.5 star. I just can't, you can't rate that anywhere. But I'm done. It wrapped up pretty nicely. Everybody got their own little like paragraph. Kieran's brother is giving up his cottage that's like in this no man's land between the mortal world and fairy, where Mark and Christina and Kieran can be together, and Julian and Emma are together and they're going off traveling. Helene and Aline? Yeah, Helene and Aline are running the Institute. Ty is going to the Sholomance. Mark is going to help run the Downworlder Shadowhunter Alliance because Alec is the Inquisitor now, or the Consul, and Diego is going to be the Inquisitor. I don't know how old Diego is. That seems a little bit young for him to hold that position. It all just wrapped up pretty nicely. I'm assuming we are going to get a series with Kit in it. I don't know if he plays a role in Chain of Iron. I haven't read that book, and it doesn't come out in paperback until, or Chain of Gold, until August, which is when I'm going to start that series because I want my books to match. I have the spines that depict like a scene from the books. So I'm done. I'm finally finished with the Dark Artifices. I am happy to be. Just felt like it took me a really long time. It's probably a 3-star. The more that I think about it and talk about it, I'm like, I really only liked the ending. And 800 pages is a lot to only like the ending. So I might be going back to go change my rating. Next, I'm going to pick up The Stolen Kingdom by Julian Bowman. I think it's a book that I got approved for on NetGalley. I might start reading it tonight. I might not. I might just give myself a day off, or a night off at least, and pick that up tomorrow. My boyfriend just went to go pick up dinner. He was originally going to go have drinks with some of his coworkers, so I put the meat away. I wasn't planning on making anything. When he came home, we were just kind of chatting, and I took a shower, and I was like, hey, I don't have anything planned for dinner. We don't really have any leftovers. So he went to go pick up food, which was nice of him. I am in the process of uploading a video right now. I didn't upload anything last week because I felt awful all week. So I'm hoping to catch up by uploading this video today and one on Saturday so that I'm not behind anymore. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm done with that book, and I'm looking forward to moving on to more. It does make me want to revisit the Shadowhunters world. I don't know if Simon is still a vampire or not, if that's no longer a thing. So I definitely want to read the Mortal Instruments series. And I will probably no more reading for tonight, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It's Thursday. I forgot to update you guys yesterday. Well, I didn't forget. I just didn't update you guys because I didn't do any reading Tuesday night after I finished Queen of Air and Darkness. I did pick up Stolen Kingdom, which is a book that I got approved for on NetGalley. I think I mentioned that to you guys, but I can't really remember. I am like 51 pages in, 15% of the way, and enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. We have 2 different perspectives. One is a daughter of a like vineyard owner, and they have kind of like a run-in with one of the lords in the area, his men, saying that he was missing some of the like barrels of wine that they take as like a taxation basically. And the dad is like, that can't be true, like if I look at our records, and like, well, according to our records. And the daughter ends up getting kidnapped, and she appears at the Lord's house, and he is telling her like, I loved a woman a long time ago who disappeared, and I think that you are her daughter. And she's like, there's no way, like that's not possible. And he shows her this like painting that he had done of that other woman, and it's her. It's literally, it's her mother. So there are some small differences, but she's like, that could essentially be me, and I know that that painting wasn't done of me, so it was her mom. And he tells her that she's like basically the heir to the throne. Like, her mother's family had the throne stolen from them thousands of years ago, and she's the rightful heir, so he wants to put her on the throne. And obviously, I know he's got ulterior motives. And then the second perspective is from the current king's second son, who's kind of been looked over his entire life because he's the second son. He's not heir to the throne. He's only heir to the throne if something happens to the king and the oldest brother. And so it's kind of him dealing with his dad leaving to go on some sort of like political trip. I'm not 100% sure, and his dad makes him do this ritual that you would do if you were the first son, and it kind of like scares him, thinking that he could be connected to the magic that his dad possesses. And his dad gives him this locket that's supposed to keep him protected, and he's like, not gonna let the fear of magic rule me. But he does get tempted at one point and opens the locket and hears this like voice whisper his name. So I'm assuming our two main characters are going to meet when there's like a siege or an overthrow of the kingdom. But it was really interesting. I really like the writing. Like, I was captivated. The only reason I put it down was because I was getting tired. And I've been trying to go to bed earlier because I have not been sleeping well. So I feel better today. I managed to get a good amount of sleep. And now I'm just working, and I'm gonna go because I'm gonna run out of space on my camera. So if I do any more reading, I will update you guys later. Hello, happy Sunday. I am about to go run errands. I haven't been doing much this morning. I've just been really tired. I got my ERIAD pay this week, so I don't have the energy to do anything really. I have just been curled up on the couch, reading The Stolen Kingdom and knitting and like playing a game on my phone. I just started playing Heyday again, which I think came out when I was in like high school or something. And I am just obsessed with like farm simulation games basically. So I am like 14 or 15 chapters into The Stolen Kingdom. I think I'm like 30% of the way, and I'm really enjoying it. Our main character is Mara. She is basically currently learning how to be a queen. The lord that... Oh, there's police officers here. The lord that kidnapped her is teaching her how to be a royal, and I'm still trying to figure out like what he gets from this, how he benefits from her becoming queen. He's being very nice to her and like gifting her a lot of things, so I'm thinking that he is going to try to make her fall in love with her, or at least trust him enough to be like, I'll be king, you secure the throne by proving your birthright, and then you really won't have to worry about anything else. That's just kind of what I'm guessing is where he's going with this. Our other main character, Alec, who is the second born prince, he is just kind of dawdling about his dad. The king is gone, and his brother has asked him to kind of talk to some of the people that are going to be at the wedding to see if he can figure out who supports the war that his father is kind of trying to start, because if their dad dies, everyone's gonna want him to like stop the war, but he doesn't want to be seen as weak, so he's asking his brother like kind of feel out who my supporters are. And his brother's also dealing with like the locket that his dad gave him that contains some of his blood, and is like maybe gonna give him magical powers, and not wanting to be consumed by it, but also curious about the magic inside of it. So I'm really enjoying it, just kind of reading like a chapter, taking a break, a chapter, taking a break, and it's good so far. I'm on my way to Target. I got my income tax refund. I put most of it away. I paid off my Best Buy credit card from when I bought this camera, and I just left myself like $100 to go to Target to buy some new t-shirts. And I also need to get a basket, like a bin that goes on my shelves for some yarn that I'm getting. I ordered yarn to do my like Slytherin Weasley sweater, and that should be here today or tomorrow, I think. But I'm gonna need somewhere to put it for now until I start it. So I'm gonna get a basket for that. I also have yarn to return that is too thick for the project that I need for it. So just a couple errands, grocery shopping, and then I'm going back home to do some more reading. Hopefully I'll get to like 50% by the end of this day, and then be able to finish the book on like Monday or Tuesday, but I hate saying stuff like that because it never happens, so we'll just see. We'll see where it goes. I will update you guys later if I do any more reading. Good morning, it's Monday. I forgot to, well, not that I forgot, I was just too tired yesterday after I finished reading to go into the living room and get my camera to end this vlog, so I'm ending it now. I did hit the 50% mark for The Stolen Kingdom. I'm really enjoying it. Mara's magic has been exposed to Alec, and he is mostly just stunned and kind of like leaves her in the middle of the forest, which is where it like gets exposed. They get attacked by a rabid wolf, and she says sleep, and it falls asleep, and he is just shocked and leaves her there. And then he calls her to his quarters later that night, and he's like, I want you to help me. I've only ever seen my father's magic be used to, you know, instill fear and terror into the people that he wants something from, and if I have to ever have the burden of this magic, I want it to be something that I can use for good. Which I really liked. And at first she says no, and then Nelgarath tells her, not so subtly, that one day she's going to have to thank him for putting her on the throne, and one day she's going to have to thank him for keeping her there, and is basically insinuating that he's going to be king. And Mara basically decides that she thinks things can be done a different way. So I'm hoping her and Alec are going to get married, because that would be like a combination of both kingdoms, basically the Thungraves and the Dallowin, which is who her like ancestor line is. But I'm enjoying it. I hit the 50% mark. That was my goal. I'm hoping to do like another 25% tonight. I do have to edit a video, so we'll see how much time I have. But I'm enjoying it. It's really good. It's a really quick, like easy read. I don't know if it's because I'm reading it on the iPad. I always feel like when I read books, like digitally, I just fly through them for some reason. So I am going to go now and wrap this up. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know how your reading is going for March, if you've finished anything, if you're in the middle of anything, and how you're doing. Mental health check. How are you doing? Thanks again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!